morning, Cardinals fans. Thanks for checking out another game recap here on Bird Seeds. Although, the fun didn't last very long, did it? I'm Tara Wellman. If we haven't met, as I mentioned, this is Bird Seeds. If you don't know me yet, I cover the St. Louis Cardinals for birdsontheblack.com, and when I'm not working in actual sports broadcasting, I'm here on YouTube sharing my thoughts primarily on the St. Louis Cardinals. If you hit that subscribe button, you will find game recaps, series previews, and more pretty much on the daily. So there's always something new for you to check out, and give it a thumbs up if you like what you see. If you're a Cardinals fan, you may not like what you see and hear in this video, but don't hit the dislike. Just hit the thumbs up for the fact that I'm even talking about this game. All right, enough of the prequel. Let's get to the story. I need a drink first. Okay. Without Matt Carpenter or Colton Wong in the game, the Cardinals went with the pseudo getaway day lineup, and with Harrison Bader leading the charge, they jumped on Rangers' Drew Smyly right away. Bader picked up right where he left off, as far as this series is concerned, and picked up the leadoff hit. Then Paul Goldschmidt drew a walk, and Paul DeYoung drove in 2 runs. And while the Cardinals stranded runners at second and third in the inning, it felt good to see them get on the board first once again. Cardinals starter Jack Flaherty, though, gave one back right away with a leadoff homer by Shin-Soo Choo. Flaherty actually allowed a base runner in each of the first 4 innings, and it didn't haunt him, thanks to a couple of slick, if not unconventional, double plays, until the 4th, when Hunter Pence and his wild swing drove in the tying run with 1 out. Flaherty would finish the day after 6 innings, giving up just the 2 runs, which is actually an improvement, although it didn't really feel like one, in part because it still feels like Flaherty doesn't have his best stuff yet. But the final result would not be about his performance at all, unfortunately. There was really not much doing for either team in the next 3 innings, but Marcell Ozuna stood in scoring position for Jose Martinez with 2 outs in the 8th. But alas, a fly ball that gave us all a glimmer of hope was caught on the run in right field. And what happened next, well, you could just feel it coming. A couple of wasted base runners for the Cardinals and a second inning for Andrew Miller, and you have Danny Santana hitting the pinch hit, go-ahead home run. Because of course. It's gotta be hard to be Andrew Miller right now. I mean, to go from a few years ago, one of, if not the best relievers in the game, through the injuries and the struggles that he's had trying to get back to some form of that guy, to then be relegated to sort of a lefty specialist who's not actually that good at getting lefties out, to now being in a game every once in a while, and one day it goes really well, and the next day it goes really horribly. It's just gotta be really tough to be Andrew Miller. You hear him in the post-game comments, and he's as frustrated as anyone without any real clear answers. And while it wasn't like he looked terrible in Sunday's performance, it was, well, the one terrible pitch that we all kind of saw coming. Also hard right now, though, is watching the Cardinals pile up those strikeouts again. We saw this in the first week of the season. They sort of rectified that problem. Now we're seeing it again in the month of May. Another outing with double-digit strikeouts for the Cardinals hitters. It's just not going to cut it. And I'll be honest, I was resigned to the loss after Andrew Miller gave up that home run. We just haven't seen enough offense from these Cardinals to believe that they could come back, even if down by just 1 run. But Dexter Fowler dove in and did his darndest to snatch that victory right out of the jaws of defeat with a game-tying solo home run in the 9th. His teammates even played along, and they took the lead in the top of the 10th. Unfortunately, the Oliver Marmol-managed Cardinals, thanks to Mike Shildt getting tossed early in the game in defense of Dexter Fowler, opted to pitch Jordan Hicks for the first time in what feels like an eternity, and he threw the last out of the 8th, all of the 9th, and into the 10th, where he put 2 runners on without getting an out, then gave up the tying run before anyone decided it was a good idea to get him out of the game. I'm not putting all of that on Marmol. Mike Maddox should have been able to see that things weren't going well. Mike Shildt was probably in the clubhouse transferring messages somehow by carrier pigeon for all I know. But Marmol's the guy who takes the fall because he's the guy who had to finish out the rest of the game in the manager's hat. Not actually in a hat, although that would be kind of cool if they had like a manager hat that they gave to... Never mind. And after Hicks did get pulled from the game, as everyone knew would happen, at this point, a bases-loaded sac fly off of a Carlos Martinez pitch sent the Cardinals into the off day as losers, and they still have yet to win back-to-back games in the month of May. And that is the story of the St. Louis Cardinals, losing in walk-off fashion, 5-4 to the Texas Rangers. But hey, the Blues won, so no one will even remember this in a couple of hours, right? Like I said, though, today is an off day, so take a breather, and I'll be back with you on Wednesday morning to tell you all about what happened Tuesday night as the Cardinals take on the Royals in a short 2-game set. I'll see you then.